Welcome back, everybody. Matt and the Brad here. Hope you're doing well. So, Knives Out 2, or otherwise known as Glass Onion, a Knives Out story, hit theaters yesterday, Wednesday, just in time for the Thanksgiving holiday. This is a movie that's going to be in theaters for 1 week only. Netflix and the movie theaters made a deal. Let's make a deal. To have this movie out for 1 week. First of all, let me just say, I'm going to have a podcast up talking about why you need to go to the movie theater and support this movie. And then I'll put that podcast up in the link for this podcast at the very end. But you should also go and watch that. But Knives Out 2, or otherwise known as, like I said, Glass Onion, is a sequel to the original Knives Out. Came out in 2019. Actually, the same time, Thanksgiving weekend of that year. I saw that movie that Wednesday night. I really enjoyed it. I've seen it a couple times since. And I think it's another really good to great Rian Johnson film. Rian Johnson is known for movies like Looper with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis. Brick with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Star Wars The Last Jedi. I know a lot of people don't like that movie. I actually think it's really good. It shook up the Star Wars universe a little bit. Some people just want to go with the same old, same old. That's what happens when you get The Force Awakens and the Rise of Skywalker. Same old, same old. But anyway, I like Rian Johnson. I think he's a good director. I like his first Knives Out movie. And unlike those other murder mystery movies that we've been getting with Kenneth Branagh, Murder on the Orient Express, and this year's Death on the Nile with Kenneth Branagh, Armie Hammer, Gal Gadot. This murder mystery is actually really great. I like the other one. Now let's get into it. Mainly positives. Positives. The ensemble. This movie, just like the first Knives Out, you have movie actors like Michael Shannon, Jamie Lee Curtis, Chris Evans, Catherine Langford, the late Christopher Plummer, Ana de Armas, so on and so forth. The kid who played in It, Billy, the kid who played Bill in It, that was in the first Knives Out. Toni Collette, etc. And there's probably a couple more I'm forgetting. But that had a great ensemble. I think Chris Evans was the MVP of that movie. I think Ana de Armas was in movies like Blade Runner 2049, War Dogs, Hands of Stone. But Knives Out, the marketing never told you that Ana de Armas' character was actually the main character of that movie. And look what has happened to Ana de Armas in the past 3 years since Knives Out, the original Knives Out. She has become a major star, getting big franchises like Bond, or the John Wick spin-off Ballerina. Me now looking at getting an Oscar nomination for playing Marilyn Monroe for Blonde. She has truly gone up in 3 years. And let me tell you, I would actually say the ensemble in Knives Out 2, that's what I'm going to call it for now, Knives Out 2, is better than the original. Let me just, wait 1 minute. I don't want to leave anybody out, and I wrote them all down. You have Dave Bautista, another actor who keeps climbing up the ladder ever since the first Guardians of the Galaxy. You have Edward Norton. Once again, this guy was the thing from American History X, Fight Club, Primal Fear, The Illusionist, Sir Eisenheim, The Illusionist, Bruce Banner in The Incredible Hulk, who I really liked him as Bruce Banner. I wish he came back as Bruce Banner. Birdman with Michael Keaton. Um, yeah, I mean, you got Edward Norton in this movie. We got Kate Hudson. When I was literally, when I was watching this movie, I was going, when was the last time I saw Kate Hudson in a film? I really can't remember. It might be that last time she worked with Matthew McConaughey on that Fool's Gold movie. But, no, truly, I think that might be the last time I've seen Kate Hudson in a movie. You got Catherine Hahn. You got Janelle Monáe. You got Leslie Odom Jr. You got Madeline Klein from Outer Banks, making her feature film debut. And you got Jessica Henwick, who's been in on Luke Cage for Netflix. She was in The Gray Man earlier this year with Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling. But, I mean, right? And then, of course, you got Daniel Craig back. And there's a bunch of cameos throughout the movie that are just great. So the ensemble team of this movie is by far the best ensemble of the year in terms of just the casting. And it ups the original on that level alone. Not to mention, did you people hear what I said? I said we got Kate Hudson and Catherine Hahn. Kate Hudson and Catherine Hahn. What were they in? Oh yeah! Andy, the how-to girl. How to lose a guy in 10 days? With our boy, alright, Matthew McConaughey. That's right, Kate Hudson, Catherine Hahn in a movie together again since 2003. And they have a lot of scenes together. In fact, people, this made me laugh a lot. Actress Janelle Monáe, her name in the movie is Andy. A-N-D-Y, Andy. And guess who's the one who introduces Janelle Monáe's character? Kate Hudson. So when you hear Kate Hudson say, Andy Anderson, the how-to girl, I literally almost lost it. We just need to see Matthew McConaughey show up. Because even in that scene when she says Andy to Janelle Monáe, Catherine Hahn is standing right next to her. And I'm like, oh my god, it's a How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days reunion with my boy Matthew McConaughey. Alright. Maybe he'll be in Knives Out 3, which is on the way too already. So just the ensemble alone. But guess what? Even in that ensemble, who's the majors? Edward Norton is great. I mean, he is funny, he's serious, he's a little scary at times, which we know from American History X. Am I right? Wasn't gonna go there. Nope, not going there. Anyway, so Edward Norton is great. Dave Bautista is hilarious. Kate Hudson, oh my god. Every time she opens her mouth, you will be laughing. She has some of the funniest responses in this movie. She's great. It's one of those ones you go, where have you been, Kate Hudson? Where is my Andy Anderson all these years? You're back. So you got that. You got, who else I mentioned? Catherine Hahn. She has a lot of great moments. So yeah, I mean, like I said, this is a great ensemble. Janelle Monáe is another one. She's excellent in this movie. Excellent. And I can't even go into the reason why. Because it would be a spoiler. But she is great in the movie. What else we got here? We said, once again, like I said, Daniel Craig. When Daniel Craig retires or passes away, he'll be known now for two major roles. Bond and Detective Blanc. Yeah, Detective Blanc. If he is, once again, reprising his role from the original, He is great. Unlike Kenneth Branagh in the other murder mystery movies, Daniel Craig is on fire. He is hilarious at times. He's just, I don't know how to say it. It's another perfect role for Daniel Craig, especially now not being Bond anymore. I mean, you go from Bond and now this is your new major role character that you can go and do more times than even playing Bond. Awesome. The script is sharp, funny, and even the story is a great story. Instead of trying to copy what Rian Johnson did in the first one, he really does tell a different story and a different twist that was really surprising, really good, and this is hilarious. This movie is funny from beginning to end. Me and the entire audience was laughing the entire time. And then there's a twist in this movie that I thought was excellent, well done. Happens halfway through the movie, and it really makes you go, oh wow, I did not see this coming. And it really works. Really, really. This movie's 2 hours and 20 minutes. When I heard that, I was like, oh man, this is going to be a long movie. But it moves. This is a great pacing film. Even at 2 hours and 19 minutes. I never felt bored. I never felt like, oh my god, how much longer? Or, oh my god, they didn't need to have that scene in the movie. They could have taken that out. No. I think this is a well-paced movie. Like I say, cameos. The movie has a lot of cameos. I can't spoil any of them. But there's one in particular that I was like, okay, that's good. That's real good. I said humor. Rian Johnson, like that. I know a lot of people give Rian Johnson a lot of shit because of his Star Wars movie, The Last Jedi. But once again, I will tell people, don't just look at Star Wars and say Rian Johnson is horrible. No. Rian Johnson is a great director, people. Well, you can't go by a franchise that is run by a studio. Essentially, Star Wars. Star Wars. One of the biggest franchises in movie history. There are other people behind the scenes at work that, and I don't even blame technically Rian Johnson made a good film in The Last Jedi. The problem was the studio and the producers behind the film that run Star Wars, like Disney, like Kathleen Kennedy, they never had a plan, an arc for the 3 new films in that trilogy. They let each director do their own thing. Hey, that'd be like me coming in directing a Star Wars movie. Oh, all these years I wanted to do this, and this, and this. And so it says, okay, Matt, go do whatever you want. Okay? Now, I don't have to adhere to what we just did in The Force Awakens, and I don't have to worry about what you're going to do in the 3rd film. No, just do whatever you want. Okay? That's what Rian Johnson did. And guess what? He still made a good movie. And then you go back to Brick. You go back to Looper. That to me is one of the best sci-fi films in the past 10 years. And definitely one of Bruce Willis's best performances in the past 10 years. Then I think you go to the first Knives Out. Now he did it even better in this film. So Rian Johnson, as a writer-director, the way he moves the camera, the wide shots going over this island and this, set, great. The theme. They have a theme in this movie that some of it deals with COVID at the beginning, but then there's just underlining themes that are kind of underlining COVID and the pandemic, but with what is going on this island with this group of people, and it works. Also, the title, Glass Onion. At first you go, that is the dumbest title for a movie called Knives Out. But then when you watch the movie, It has some sentimental value, and it plays into the story. And just like an onion, it has layers. You know, layers. Onions have layers. I have layers. Shrek. Don't get it. Those are my positives. Negatives. My first negative is a tiny, 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 tiny spoiler. So tiny. But, I mean, really not going to ruin anything in the movie. Not at all. It's just the title card comes up, and it says May 2020. And if you know me and you haven't been living under a rock for the past 2 years, you know May 2020 was just 2 months into the pandemic, the lockdown. You can't go anywhere. You will get COVID. Do not go. Stay inside. Do not leave your house. So and it starts talking about COVID and pandemic and I'm like, and then you see a shot of people wearing masks, and I'm like, I hope this movie is not all around the pandemic. Please help me. And this whole movie is about something having to do with the pandemic. Luckily, the movie doesn't have to do with the pandemic, thank God, which also made me go, then why would you put that in the first scene of the movie? You know, talking about, oh, the lockdown, the pandemic, when it has really no bearing on the rest of the movie. None at all. None. Nada. Zilch. That was my main negative. Like I said, very minor, but I just thought, why? Especially when you watch the whole movie, it has nothing to do with the pandemic. Number 2, I wish, even though they do have a great ensemble, I wish Jessica Henwick and Madeline Klein had more to do in the movie. They're the only two that really have a smaller role. And I kind of get it. These are 2 actors that are still, you know, building their career. Even though, yes, Jessica Henwick was also in The Matrix Resurrections and was a major part of that movie. But because Warner Brothers decided to put that on HBO Max day and date release, you can technically call it an HBO Max movie. And she's also been in some Netflix stuff, like I said, Luke Cage. She was also in The Gray Man on Netflix. So she's mainly done Netflix shows. Hence, what I'm talking about here. Madeline Klein. She's only known for Outer Banks, the first 2 seasons. Third season comes out early next year. But once again, another Netflix. Something on Netflix. Once again, this movie was produced by Netflix. Money was put in by Netflix. It was almost like Netflix had like a little clause in their contract. You have to pick 2 actors or actresses that we normally use in our Netflix movies or shows. And they said, give me Jessica Henwick, and then who's that blonde chick in Outer Banks? Let me get her. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, Madeline Klein is really only in the movie to look hot. I mean, she is very pretty, very hot. But 90% of this movie, really 95% of this movie, she's wearing a bikini, a 2-piece, walking around in a 2-piece, you know, flirting with Dave Bautista, flirting with Edward Norton, doing a couple other things with Edward Norton. We won't go there. A little naughty. But she's the sex piece, if you will. The blonde of the blonde on the island. Even though you also got Kate Hudson. So, older blonde, younger blonde. Blonde. But yeah, I would, and I'm saying that because when you go back and watch the original Knives Out, Ana de Armas was pretty much an unknown to most people. But because she was the main actress in that film, main character, because of that movie, she immediately rose up the ladder in the past 3 years because of Knives Out. It was like a breakout role. Not War Dogs, not Knock Knock, not Blade Runner 2049, not Hands of Stone. It was Knives Out. So, a movie like Knives Out 2, Madeline Klein, then she was just the sex symbol in this movie. She really only has one scene of an actual, like, conversation with someone of actual conversation with someone. Just one scene of that. I don't see her becoming the next Ana de Armas of her career, catapulting up to stardom. And I think that's the main thing with this movie. There isn't just one main actor like there was in the original, like Ana de Armas' character. It was an ensemble, of course, but there was still one lead focus. This one, it is pretty much truly an ensemble. And I think that's great, especially for a murder mystery. Well, like I said, Madeline Klein isn't, and even Jessica Henwick definitely had the least amount of stuff to do in this movie. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it means these are Netflix actors. At least Madeline Klein is. And hey, good for her. Madeline Klein is her first major film role. Great. You got to work with a great director in Rian Johnson. You got to work with Dave Bautista. You got to work with Edward Norton. You got to work with Daniel Craig, Kate Hudson, Catherine Hahn. Oh, great. Major actors throughout their career. So, that's a plus. But I wish we got more of both of them, Henwick and Klein. But we don't. So those are my thoughts of Knives Out 2 or Glass Onion, a Knives Out story. I would give this movie easily a 4.9 out of 5. Probably even closer to 5 out of 5. But we'll just go 4.9 out of 5. This movie is in theaters. I highly recommend you go see it. It's only in theaters for 1 week. So by next Wednesday, it will not be in theaters anymore. It will be on Netflix December 23rd, right around the time of Christmas, which was also smart on Netflix to put it out in theaters the week of Thanksgiving to make that cheddar. And then with the word of mouth, a month later when it comes out on Netflix, people will be watching that over the Christmas holiday. So Netflix, good job. Matt the Bat here.